if you're looking for a bike to do 125 Evo racing on, then this could be a very good buy. It's a 1988 Honda CR125, which was a very good year for the little CR, and would make a very, very competitive little bike. I've had the engine running, sounds absolutely sweet as a nut. We'll get it fired up and ride around the garden in a minute. Needs a little bits and pieces of work doing to it, as you'd expect. It's not been restored or anything like that. It's probably been being ridden relatively recently, but yeah, it definitely needs bits and pieces. Like the pipe could do with blowing out. I mean, I know some people will race them like that because they're going to get battered, but you could get maybe an extra horsepower or two with having that blown out or replacing it. Probably the worst thing that I found on the bike really is that the front forks, there's pitting on the fork legs, so that's the worst bit. You can get them rechromed. I can put you in touch with someone who can do the rechroming work for you, or you could send them to him and do the full works on them. Obviously, front wheel looks pretty round and no dents in it. Rear wheel has got a dent in it. I've definitely run a lot worse myself, but it's kind of each to their own. And other than that, it's obviously had bits of work done to it in the past. Someone's painted the frame like a silvery colour, where it should have been the Honda orangey red colour. So that's it's not perfect, but obviously it's not the end of the world, and it's not going to stop you riding it. If you wanted it back to factory, then you'd want to get that powder coated or painted. Clearly they weren't powder coated stock, but that's what people generally do these days. There's damping in the rear shock, air in the tyres, though the tyres are cracked. Front brake works, rear brake works. Like I say, runs mint. It's got coolant in the radiators. Yeah, well, you'll see when I fire it up and you hear it running, you'll see it sounds mega. I'm sure that it goes great too. So we'll have a little do on it in a second. Hopefully you can see in a bit more detail. So cosmetically it could just do with a bit of work really, and the rest of it I would say is more down to a good service rather than needing everything doing. If it's going to be raced, that is. If you're wanting to restore it as factory, like a Garage Queen kind of thing or a restoration project, then obviously you would want to go into more detail and do it a little bit more. But for a race bike it'd be not that difficult to get ready, I really don't think. So obviously turns over and decent compression. They're always a bit deceiving 125s, I find. Dented tank, the frame that's been painted, and it's not been painted very well because it started to rust come through, and it could just do with a very, very, very good clean really. Here's the pitting on the forks, and there is there's pitting all the way down. Hopefully you can see that. But the rest of the forks, the fork lowers, they look decent. The front wheel looks to be in decent nick. Tyres got some massive cracks in it. And then this fork leg as well has also got the pitting in it. So your fork seals won't last 5 minutes with them like that. Like I say, could do with a proper good wash. Whatever that is, could be washed off. Some kind of dog or cat hair. Fresh set of plastics would definitely help it out a bit. but it looks, you know, it looks good. It's obviously has done stuff, but I mean, it's like the covers and that, they don't look bad. They don't look badly worn. You see the boot scuff on the paint, but the paint probably wasn't many coats, and it probably wasn't baked on, so that's why it's done that, really. Nice. Be a proper good little 125 race bike. Definitely would. You can see the back wheel has got a bit more wear on it, and then round here, that's that little ding. It is only a small one. It's not cracked. Like I say, it wouldn't bother me running it like that at all. It's got a nice DG silencer on it. Decent thing. Proper decent thing. I always fancy a 125, but I am a bit of a fat lad, so it's they're never going to go that well with me on them, and I'm getting a bit old as well, and I get a bit tired out on them. So there you go. Right, let's get her outside, and we'll get her fired up and a quick run around the garden. Please like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Just search Phoenix Motos.